All right, so here's our attempt at doing the orthographic projection for this part right here. Right, so we have this flange, we have the top part, and we have the knob sitting on it. And so we'll want to do the front view, the right side view, and the top view. And we'll do those one after the other. We'll start with the front view. We'll take this as the front view, looking from this direction. And so we'll start with drawing this arc plus the circle, and then the rest of this outline. Now you'll see there's no dimensions given here, so we'll say that the big arc has a diameter of 8 blocks or a radius of 4. All right, so let's find ourselves our center point. It would be 2, 4, 2, 4. Let's say this is our center point. Now we can find our edges of the circle, 2, 4, radius in this direction, 2, 4, radius in this direction, 2, 4, radius in this direction. All right, and then we'll use our diagonals trick to find where the next points are, right? Draw our diagonal, and then we take 3/4 of it. So a half would be here, and then another quarter gets us to here. So this would be our point. We can erase the line. So we have a point there. Now we can do the same on the other side, or we can just say, well, we know that it's symmetrical, so we can just find that same point, right? So it'll be 1 point up and 3 points over. That's where we are. All right, that means we can draw our circle, or half circle. Like this. All right, there. And then while we're at it, we'll do the center circle as well. And here we'll say we'll have a diameter of 4, so 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2, and then our diagonals, right? So diagonal would be here, and we'll do half of it, so it'd be here, that would be here, that would be here, and there. Right? This would be our diagonals. Let's do draw our circle. Circle looks like that. That'll be our circle. It looks pretty circular. Get rid of some of these extra lines here. We don't need the center point at the moment. There. So that means now we need to draw our straight lines going up, right? We're going to do these lines right here, and then they're cross. And in class we said we have a height of 6 blocks there. So let's see where the 6 blocks would be. 2, 4, 6. And down. Same on the other side. 2, 4, 6. And down. They should be on the same height. And they are. And across. There we go. Now what else? If we're looking from this direction, we can see this knob, of course, but it will look like a rectangle. And we'll say it is centered in the middle. So it'll be somewhere on this line, and we'll say it has a diameter of 2, so a radius of 1. So width here would be 2, and we'll say it's too high as well, just to make it look like a square. And then another thing that we have is, right, if we're looking from this direction, and if this were transparent, then we would kind of see this back edge here, right? We would look through here, we see this edge going across. We'll have to add a hidden line right here. And we'll say the thickness of this piece is 1. So we'll do one box here. Do our dashed line, trying to get to the end with a dash. All right, so this would be our front view. Still without center lines. We'll do center lines at the end. Now, the next part that we'll do is we will do the top, right? Looking down from this direction. It's pretty easy, it's just a rectangle and a circle, right? So we know that we have a rectangle, so we know what the width is. Let's give ourselves a little space. Of course, we know that the width has to be the same as here, because it's the same edge. So let's just draw across. Start here and right there. And then I think we said we take 8 for the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So we say we go 8 into the other direction. 2, 4, 6, 8. Go down. Same on this side. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, we didn't miscount. Go down, and the edge on the back here is a straight line, so we can just connect that. So that was quick. And then what else? Of course, our knob here, right? So again, no dimensions, but we know that it has to be in this location, right? Because we set the location here, so it has to be somewhere between, if we take the ruler here, right, and then my pencil here, so it has to be sitting somewhere in here, right? So we know that, and we know it has a diameter of 2, so maybe we'll just put the center somewhere here, right? If we do the center here, then our circle is going to look like this. For a circle this small, I guess we can try and do our diameter here, so the points are going to be somewhere along there. Hopefully these small circles that sometimes a little overkill. We'll just draw a circle. There we go. So that would be our small circle. Now, just like from the front view, we have to make sure that we take in all the hidden lines, right? If we're looking down through a transparent part, then we'll see, again, the equivalent of this line kind of going across for the bottom edge, right? So we'll have to do another hidden line. Of course, that would be in this end now. So let's do the hidden line here. Right there. Also, when we're looking down, like we're looking down along this flange, right, inside of this flange, then we will see kind of the edges that the circle has, right, the kind of the extents of that circle. So we'll have to draw dashed lines there for hidden lines, right? And so we can see what the extent is of our circle right here, and then we just have to do our little line here. As you can see, we're kind of getting close here on the dash, so let's extend that dash just a little bit. And then of course the same thing on the other side. And then we'll have to extend our dash as well just a little bit. Right there. All right, so this would be our side view. Now let's do our right side view. So looking from here. And for the first example, right, if you looked in class, we kind of did the whole construction with the diagonal. Now this time I want to show you doing it without the diagonal. So we basically just choose a point here and do the measurements and draw them out, right? So that's all acceptable as well. So let's give ourselves a little space. We'll start with the corner right here. And we'll start by going across. All right, so let's say, let's do our starting point here. And now we know that this length here in our top view is given us here. Okay, that's the same edge, and we said that's going to be 8 across. So we need to draw 8 in this direction. 2, 4, 6, 8. Right, remember that if we did the diagonal approach, then we'd have our diagonal. It would tell us, the diagonal will tell us that this is the end point and this is a start point, but this time we're just measuring. Right, and we said based on our drawing here, right, we know that the thickness is 1. Right, so we'll do 1, that's the thickness. And of course the thickness is 1 for this as well, right? So we know we can draw all the way in until we get 1 box away. Again, we can construct all this with the diagonals if we wanted to. Now, if we're looking at this, so we've basically drawn these lines, right? This is what we have until now. So now if we want to draw the line that's going down, then we go straight, and then it starts curving, right? But remember, if we're looking from this direction, we don't see this curve occurring, right? All we see is that there's something there. So we can actually draw this all the way down. And here's something that is an important difference from our first example. If you remember the first example, right, we said where we had that change in direction, right? We said there's an edge there that we can see, so we have to put that into our drawing, and we drew an edge there. In this case, when we have a circle, an arc that starts, then there's really no change there. Right? It's a very gradual change, so we don't draw this edge in here. Right? This drawing has a little edge in there, but we don't need it. So all we do is a straight line. Then of course we do our thickness of 1 right there, and then straight up. And then the only part that's missing from us is our little knob here, right? So we know the height of it. We can project over, right? It's 2, and now we know it starts 2 boxes away from this edge, right? This edge and this edge are the same. So we have to go 2 in. It'll be here, and then it's 2 high, and we know that the diameter is 2 as well. So it's another little square that we draw. Now, what else do we see? Well, one more thing that we see, of course, if we looked from the top, right? We said we saw the edges of these of this circle that we had to put as hidden line. If we're looking from this way through this part, then of course we see the top and the bottom edge, right? So we'll have to put those in. All we have to do there is take our ruler and put it on the top of the circle and go across. Do our dashed line, and the same at the bottom. All right, with that, I think we have all of the visible lines and all of the dashed lines. So now what's left are the center lines, because we have a bunch of circles, right? So if we go up here, that's the little circle, that's our knob sticking up, right? So we want it's a circle, so we want to put a center line on here, short dash, and a long dash. We always want to end in the long dash. So we have something that looks like this for the top. Now for the circle on the bottom, we can do the same thing. Here here we kind of this one center line that we do will represent 2 circles, right? It will be the center of the big circle and of the little circle, right? So we want to make sure that it extends past the big circle. So again, we'll do a center line. We'll start here. Yep, that was a little too long. Have to be able to get another dash in there, so let's shorten it up a little bit. Like this, and our shorter dash, and then the longer dash. We want to go all the way outside of our object here, right? And so the same thing here. Here we want to go all the way across from out here. So we'll do like this, our short dash, and our long dash. All right, so this would be the center line for the circle here. Now, another object that has a circular shape in our front view is, of course, our little knob on top here, right? That looks like a square, but it really is a cylinder, so we have to specify that. So we'll do a center line for that as well. Long dash, short dash, and long dash. Like that. So that's all good. I think that's all we need for the front view. Now for the top view, we already have the one in the center of the circle, but we actually have another circular object here, and that's this hole, right? So this hole here is of course a circle. It looks like a rectangle here, so we have to specify that that's a circle and do a center line. So we'll do a center line right here. Yeah, sometimes with the smaller center lines it gets a little tricky to draw them, but we'll do the best that we can. Okay, so that's all that we needed for the top. Now for the right side view, what do we need? Well, we have again our little rectangle here that's actually a circle, so we need to have a center line there. Like this. And then the only other thing that we have is, of course, we need a center line in here as well, because that's again a circle that we're looking at from the side, so we want to have a center line there. And this center line, just like for the front view, the center line that we draw right here basically acts as the center line for our hole. That's this, right? This would be a cylinder. And really, from the big arc, right? That's a cylinder as well. It's a half cylinder, right? So that also acts as the center line for that. And I think with that, we probably have everything that we need. Unless I forgot something, which happens every now and then, but I don't see anything, right? So we have our center line For our circle, we have the center line here, we have our hidden line here, we have hidden lines here and here in the center lines, hidden lines, center lines. No, I think this is probably all we needed. So this was drawing the views, three orthographic views for this 3D object right here.